I don't know if it's possible or not, but I'm gonna do my best to fix this. I'm gonna guess close to 100-year-old grinder. The motor is in pretty bad shape, and this cord has seen better days. The grinder itself doesn't look too bad. It's cast. Take that and disassemble it. It's going to be quite a challenge, but I encourage you to follow till the end so you can see the spectacular change that this grinder takes in just a few minutes of video. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is cut this cord off, and I'm going to hook some power to this and just see if there's any power at all in this motor before I get too carried away with it. I'm going to take the belt off, get around here and do that. Maybe. Oh, come on. I guess I should just cut it. I'm not going to reuse it. So let me just cut that belt right off of there. Oh man. I guess I got the wrong tools. Let me get the right tools. I got these scissors quite a while ago, and boy, I'll tell you what, I love them. They cut about anything. Let's just get that old belt right off of there. Let's come back around here and cut this wire off. I don't know. Let's cut it right here. Got that cut off. And let me see if I can get some of the insulation off of this. I'm probably gonna blow myself up or get shocked or whatever. But let me get a utility knife. Here, about a month ago, I sharpened this utility knife. I didn't realize that people today don't really sharpen utility knives. Didn't take long. If I think about it, I will put a link in the description or on this video so you can go look at that and see what you think. Well, I'll tell you what, that is crumbly. If I do get this going like this, probably gonna have the sparks fly. I never was very good with electricity, and you're gonna find out why in here just a little bit. Okay, I've got a cord right here. I'm gonna grab that cord. Here goes, guys. I don't know about this now. I gotta get some tape on that. That scares me. And I'm fearless. Yeah, not really. Let me put a little tape on this here so in case I get my hands against it, at least pretend to be safe about it. What I'll have to do if this motor does take off, which eventually I'm gonna take it completely apart and clean everything up, and I hope you enjoy watching me do that. Okay, I got some tape on this, and now let's see what we can do again. You can see I've got that taped up, so if I get my fingers against it, at least I could always wish that it, here goes, guys. That one's in, Hey, look at that. That thing is really trying to go. I bet if I would change them, yeah, this thing's gonna run, guys. I'm sure of it. Yep, I'm gonna quit. I know when I'm beat. It's smoking, but see, I can see the sparks right there, and all I have to do is disassemble this, and this motor will run. After it's cleaned up good, disassembling it and cleaning it up, you get some schmutz on some of this right there. Put something there and there, there. Well, I'll tell you what, over 50 years ago I used this thing. Do that. What do we got there? 7/16 looks like. 1/2 inch or 7/16. Get a wrench. We'll get this at least in part disassembled. Oh yeah. And if for some reason this old motor doesn't work, I guess I can put another one on it, but I sure hate to, as I would kind of like to get this old thing running again. Oh, why isn't that coming out of there? There it comes. Now that's a bolt. Let's take this off. Well, that isn't a 1/2 inch. It's 9/16. Okay. Let's, oh yeah. Let me get this here motor off. Why isn't that coming loose? I do not know. Let me get something to pry on that just a little bit. Grab a punch and a hammer and a pry bar. Okay. Let me punch down on it. There she's going. Oh man, no wonder this motor has some weight to it. One motor down. Get this up, and got screws there, screw in 4 corners here. Got that. Well, it's going to take a little bit to get this tore apart. We'll see how it goes. I've been gone a few days from this project, but I'm back here in my shop, and I'm going to continue to disassemble this here and get all the parts laid out so you can see what I have, and then we'll go from there. As you remember, I was just in the process of taking this apart right here, as I should say, as I remember. Of course, you're going to remember because time hasn't went as far with you like it has with me, but let's get this here pulled out. It's a screw, slotted screw, and we're going to see if we can't wiggle this loose. Yep, came right loose. And there's what we have, just a cast iron stand for the pulley in this. We'll get all this taken apart eventually. For right now, let's get this cleaned up and get some of these parts laid out so you can see what I have here. Gonna go at it, and this right here, I'm not sure I can even get it loose without Yeah, see that just, oh man, just don't want to come. I may have to get a vice grips on that or pull that out with my hammer and wrecking bar. Wait a minute, this one's turning out. Yep, that came loose. Broke right off though. Let's see if I can't get this loose. Ugh. This was a makeshift. Ugh. Got it. Boy, no wonder that didn't come off. That is really rusted. But this was just a makeshift deal to put so that you can have something to guide your tool on or whatever you're fixing. So let's get this out of the way because we'll come back to this stand later. Now let's put it off to the side. And now let's bring these parts up. We have this, and I want to get you right down in here so you can see it. And let's get these tools laid off to the side here. Yes. And this motor. What I'm going to do is put some penetrating oil on all of this right here and let it set. We'll get that all oiled up good. And just let that set a while. But I believe the first thing I'm going to do is disassemble this motor. And let's see if we can't get it working. So what I'm going to do first is move over to my workbench with all of this, and I'll bring you along as I try to disassemble this old electric motor. We're not restoring, remember, we're just trying to make it functional again. So we'll clean this up the best we can. I'll take the brushes out. We may pull it completely apart, but let's see if we can't get this old antique electric motor running again. So you follow me over there. Moved over to my workbench, and the first thing I'm going to try to do is get this pulley off. And inside this pulley is looks like a little set screw. I'm going to see if I can't get that cleaned up just a little bit and turned out, see if it'll move. If not, I may have to put a little heat on it. But to get this motor apart, that actually has to come out of there. We'll shoot a little WD-40 in there. And we'll grab a screwdriver and just see if it turns at all. See if that goes in there. That actually does. It turns. Set screw is actually turning out, to my surprise. So let's get that loose. That really does surprise me, like a lot of my work does. I'm going to get this set over here. I don't want to lose parts. So let me see about getting this little magnetic. I'm going to set this up here and we'll put our parts in there for right now. Okay, we'll go ahead and put some WD-40 on that, and there. And get a hammer and bump that just a little bit, see if it comes loose at all. Like I said, I may have to get a puller to pull on that some, but let me tap it here a couple. Nope, that's not moving. So I'm going to move over here to my wire wheel and clean this off just a little bit. You'll be able to hear it, but you won't see me, but let's see what I can do. Okay, we got that somewhat cleaned up. Now I need to find my pulley. I see one over here. I'll just grab it. It's way bigger than I need. Well, let's see if it'll work. It might. I doubt it. Can always hope. I don't know, it might work. Let's get it on there. This is just a regular gear pulley. Use it for different applications here in my fix-it shop. I really don't fix stuff. I just muddle my way through it. Try to encourage others to do the same. Sometimes I'm the one that ends up needing the encouragement. Okay, that's nice and tight. Or it's not nice and tight, it's snug. Let's get that up under there just a little bit better. Okay, now I wonder if we'll get a socket on there. I'm going to go with, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go with a crescent wrench to start with and see if that turns off. It may not, but we can try it. Might have to put a ratchet on there. Look at that. That thing's coming right off. Wow, that's good. Okay, I'm gonna bottom out. This shaft is a little too big for this nut, but I'm very encouraged seeing that come out or come off of there that easy. So let's see if we can't bump it the rest of the way off with the hammer. Without breaking it. It's not coming. Yeah, it did a little bit actually. It's off. So we got that. We'll put that up there with this. Tell you what, I'm going to move this higher. You can't see that, but I moved it up so that I can reach it right there. Okay. Now the next thing we need to do is clean the rest of this shaft off right here. I'm going to step behind you again and do that. Okay, I've gotten a lot of the dirt off of that shaft, so let's see if we can turn. Let's look at this. Yeah, that's gonna stay there like that. What's that for? You know, honestly, I don't know much about electric motors, but I've never been afraid to tear something apart. And there's been times that has gotten me into some trouble, and other times not. But there's one screw out. That's too high for me to reach that, for Pete's sakes. My arm just doesn't like to reach that high anymore. Move that there. Oh boy. get a little bit bigger screwdriver on that. Yep, she came. You remember we tested this right at the beginning and the sparks flew inside. It tried to take off, but the, I don't know what it's called, that little copper thing inside the motor that the brushes go up against. It's just arced like crazy. So I really think this motor will run. Am I positive? No. I'm never positive about anything. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and pull this off. I don't know if I'm going right or not, but we're going to try it. Okay. As once we get this apart, if I can clean it up some, we will. We'll look at those brushes. If we can salvage them to just get it to run, that would be great. Because I don't know for sure where I'm going to find those, or if I can. What's that? I'll be, look at that. I didn't catch that before. Looks like this case was broke at one time and somebody touched it up. Very interesting. Same way down here. Huh. So that means that we may not be able to get this side off. If we can't, I'm not sure what we're going to do as far as those, oh, this one comes out. So that's 3 of them. But it looks like there's some solder or something on this, and it's right over that screw that would be down there. I'm going to try something. I wonder if I can take that solder off of that. Right there. Nope. Let's set it down like this again. Right there's where I'm looking at. Now let's get a cold chisel out. Let me see if I can find one here. This'll work, maybe. Maybe not either. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to leave that for now. I'm going to pull the brushes out. That would be right here. There's one in each side. Let's see if those come out. Oh, I got to get that to, hey, it turned. This is a little access hole. That there. Oh, it moves. Let's see if it'll come out of there. There's about 1/4 of that brush left. We might be able to use that. We're going to try. Tell you what. I'm going to call this left and this right. I'm going to put this on the left side of the container and the other one on the right side. So you can put them back in the way they came out. Okay. Let's see if we can't get that out of there. It came. You can see that that spring got really hot, but there's about 1/4 of that brush left. If I could find them, I'd replace them, but I'm not even going to look. I'm not that excited about it. So let's see if we can't get this off. Yep, that comes off. You think that's been used in the dirt and grime a little bit? Okay, theoretically, this should pull right out of there. Hey, look at that, it does. And this is what we're looking for, is this right here. I need to clean that up. We'll blow all that stuff out. We'll clean the inside of this up the best we can. Here, take a look. See how dirty that is? And we'll go from there. Bearings look good, shaft looks good, this just looks all dirty. I wonder if carb cleaner would hurt that. Oh, we got a little shim on the back side of this. I probably do not want to lose that. So let's see if brake cleaner will hurt it. All I'm doing is spraying a little brake cleaner on it. Let's get a rag. That helps it some, but I'm telling you, that is really dirty. Might have to get some parts cleaner out. Just want that to spin. Oh. I don't think this is shot, to be honest with you. But if I get some emery cloth and clean that up real good, we should be good to go. Oh yeah. If I get a little brush and do just a little bit of elbow grease with this, it should work. Well, let's get her going here. Now let's use this less abrasive brush, or this one even right here. We'll grab this one just in case. But I have 3 brushes. This has steel, and these are just a fiber. This one isn't quite as coarse or stiff as this, and we're going to start with this one right here. And I'm going to set this in this hole so it gives me a nice working platform. And we're going to just spray all this. See all that? That all has to do with cooling, I'm going to guess. But we're just going to clean this thing up a little bit. So. You can see it's going to make a difference. There's a big difference there already. I'm not sure how we're going to... Hey, this one wants to fall right off of there. Will I remember where it goes? I hope so. I'll put it there to remember pulley side. Let me see if I can't get some of this grease off of here. It's just grease and oil from... oh, probably 75, 80 years of using it. It's pretty bad shape. I bet we can get this old motor going again, don't you think? Get some of this cleaned up here, and let's get some of this, and we'll work on this right here. There's a lip right there. I'm not going to try to do anything with it. But let me get this cleaned up and I'll get back to you. When I start on the other part here, I'll bring you in and we'll go from there. But there's a lot of cleaning to do on that. I'm just going to spray it down real good here to start with. And wow, look how that got short of... Now wait a minute. Yeah, those I don't know anything about electric motors, but I bet these holes are for cooling, help cool. And they are plugged up, so we're going to get those cleaned out. I'm working on it. We'll just get it done right now. Wow. And one thing about this carb cleaner, it dries real quick, so we don't have to worry much about it. And it gets, tell you what, on this, I'm going to use this little, there we go, let's get some of that cleaned off of there. Well, I made a heck of a mess on my bench, though. Oh well. Let me get this here set up a little bit better, and we'll get back with you here in just a little bit. Well, I'm back in here and I have these parts somewhat cleaned up. I discovered a few things I want to show you. First of all, I thought this was plastic. I should have known better, but that's steel. I cleaned it up as good as I'm going to. I've got this nice and clean. Everything on the shafts are clean. I sanded this, got this all nice and clean, so that's ready to go. On the housings, you can see I've got the insides cleaned out, and I've got the grease, oil, and grime off the outsides. I'm not painting these. I want it to look like this when I'm done. I did discover something on these that I think it's unique. With this cap right here, you can see how that cap opens up. Oil goes in there, comes down through and oils this brass bushing in here. But beside that, you have this right here, down here, and you take this out and you can fill that with oil, and there's a wick in there that comes up inside this shaft, so you can saturate that with oil also, and that keeps that bearing oiled up on that steel shaft. It's got a little breather hole right here or a fill hole. I haven't decided which yet, but that works. Looks like it would work just good, really good. The other thing that I cleaned up that I couldn't get apart like I wanted to is this right here, but the inside of that's a lot cleaner. You can see the outside is a lot cleaner. It does have a tag on here that has some numbers stamped on it, and if I would study it, I probably could see what it says, but there's a lot of wear on there. There's not much left. As with the other shaft that I showed you, or the other housing, this too has this bolt right here, the thing, same thing. Works there. It's got a little breather hole or filler hole right there. So I did soak these in degreaser, and I did something you shouldn't do with electric motor. I washed it down with warm water and degreaser. So I'm going to let these dry really well. But when we get back to this, what we're going to do is put shrink wrap on these wires here. Since I couldn't replace them, I wanted to replace them, but I can't get in there because of this weld. This weld is over the bolt or the screw that holds it together. And I could grind that off in hopes that I could get to it, but I didn't want to take the chance of breaking that. It's not worth it to me for this, because all I want to do is get this running. This isn't something that's going to be in daily operation. Just when I feel like being a little nostalgic, I'll get this out and use it. But there you have it. So I'm going to let this dry. Now the next thing that I'm going to work on is this part right here. And I'm going to put it on my workbench. I'll bring you in. We're going to take these nuts off on both sides if I can. We'll have to take it to the wire wheel on my wire wheel to get the rust off, and then we'll see if we can't turn that out. And this right here has a set screw in it also. And the way you got to put the belt on is you got to slide this shaft out, fit the belt in, and the pulley, put it all together, tighten everything up, and then snug the motor up. It's not very user-friendly. But we're going to put this on my workbench right there behind us, and I'll bring you along for the show if you're interested in seeing me disassemble this, clean it up, and see what we end up with. Follow me. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is step behind you again and use this wire wheel. You've seen me use it many times before, so just bear with me. Basically, all I was trying to do is get the rust off of the threads on both sides so I can think about turning those off. And honestly, I think the only way I'm going to be able to do that, since there's, well, wait a minute. I may be able to put a crescent wrench on both sides. I was going to say use a impact. But you know what? I think I can do this. I'm going to put it in my vise here. I'll bring you in so you can see what I'm going to do. Yeah, it came right off. Sorry you missed it. I thought I had you in, but I didn't. Anyway, this came right off. This came right off right here. And I took the brush off. You can see that. So now I need to get this side right here. But I'm not 100% sure how to go about doing that because I have no way of holding it. Unless I can put that there and hang on to it like that. Nope, that's just running this one on extremely tight. Okay, I have an idea. I've always got some ideas, don't I? Let's get this washer. There's a washer here. Get that off. And that looks like an Allen screw in there. I wonder if that would come loose. If it doesn't, we're in trouble. Let me get my Allen wrenches. I don't know if I get the right size here or not. That's not it. Too big. Too big. Too big. All of these are too big. Let's see. How about you? Nope. You, maybe. Let's try this one right here. See if that works. Hey, it goes in. Hey. What? It's not turning. I wonder if I need to put a little heat on it. Broke my wrench off in there. That's not good. Okay. Let's let that set a minute. While I stew about that just for a second, I put too much on it. I shouldn't have done that. I knew better, especially with them cheap Allen wrenches. That was a really cheap set. It's not very strong. Why did I have to do that? I don't know. I'm looking for a socket that would fit on there. Hey, that's just right. Let's get my impact driver and see if it has enough beef to turn that off. Probably won't, but we'll give her a shot. Maybe it will. Look at that. Came right off. Did you see that? Look at that. And there's the, wow. I like that. Something's going my way. And I see how that moves like that. So the thing is, all I needed to do is get that Allen set out. Now what am I going to do? Let's see if it comes out like this. Well, shoot. The only thing I know what to do is to drill that out. I don't know how else to get that out of there. This is one of them things that you hope never happens, and sometimes it does. But if I don't get that out, where I can get this apart easily, how do I put my belt on there to make this work? You piece of junk. I don't know where I got those, but... Well, let me get a drill bit and see if it spins out of there. I had this set up for another project. Let's see if it's the right size. You know what? That pushed down in there just a little bit further. I wonder if I would continue to wrap on that a little bit, if that would pop out. Let me get my hammer back over here. Well, fudge. Let's try it like this. Nah, it's not coming. Let's continue to drill it out. You know what? I'm going to get a littler bit. I think this one's just a hair too big. Found a 2-pack. We'll put one in. This is one of them deals where you just have to deal with it. You know me, I'm not afraid to break something, and I just have a feeling that that hex is pretty soft steel. That's why it broke so easy. Am I making any headway? Yeah, it looks like I am. Let's keep going. Uh-oh. Turned on me. I'm not making too good a headway on it, but I'm making a little. Don't want to get my thumb too close because I've already broken bits and run them right into my finger or thumb or whatever. And let me tell you, that doesn't feel very good. I think I bent that because it wants to wobble on me. I'm going to put the other one in. Now let's try it. Let's turn it on 1 so it doesn't go so fast. I'm going to turn this down and push down on it. I wonder if I should put that in my drill press. I think I'm going to. And I'm going to put my bigger bit back in. I think I got a good start. I'll get this set up and I'll bring you over here. I have it set up here. Let's turn it on and see what happens. It's doing a little bit of good. Let's put a little schmutz on it. For those of you who don't know, schmutz is grease. Yeah, I know, it's not the right language. It's how the Amish would call it in our area, schmutz. Okay, I'm going to go to just another size bigger so I can get that completely out of there. We'll go with this one right here. This works a lot better than that hand drill, I'll tell you. It's easier on me. As you get a certain age, you got to find easier ways to do things. Let's set that down. Okay. Now let's turn that back on. You might be laughing at my little drill press, but I tell you, this little thing has been a lifesaver for me. It saves a lot of aggravation. Oh! I think I broke through. Let's just see. Yep, I think I did. Let me see if that bumps out of there. Or do I need to go one size bigger yet? Then I'm sure I got it. If I have to, I can tap that out to a bigger size Allen. Or just put a new pulley on it. I've got them all in the hardware over there. I'm not worried about it, that's for sure. Yeah, this drill press, it's little, and for a serious person, I guess it wouldn't be adequate, but it has been for me. Come on. Keeps me from breaking bits when it does that. I just got to get slower. Quit being in such a hurry. Let me get a hammer and see if that moves at all. What I mean by moving is I want to get this shaft pounded through. That's not moving. That means it's got a little bit more holding it. Let's keep going. Okay. I also don't want to ping this here. Let me get a nut on there. You pound against the shaft like that, you should put your nut back on, and that'll keep you from pinging or flaring out the end of the nut, or the end of the bolt threads. If you get it flared out, then the nut won't start, and you want it to start. So what I do is I get real close like that right there, maybe about like right there, and I just is it moving? If it is, I don't see it. Ah, see a problem here. Got a little lip right there. I want to go ground that lip off just a little. That lip shouldn't have been an issue though. I wonder if that's still got some threads on it. Let's go back over to my workbench. You need to follow me over there. Let's put this vise just like that. Get this other nut. Start it. Open the vise just enough to catch the lip. Let's see if I can pound it out this way. It's moving, guys. Not very fast, but it certainly is. We got just a little bit further to go. Let's try it some more. Well, it's not taking much anymore. Okay. Let's see if I can just pound the gnat now just a little bit. Boy, we're close. I'm gonna have to get a punch, I guess, to finish it. Came across this brass punch. It's always a good idea to use a softer metal pounding against steel, and brass works pretty good. Let's see if I can get her to rest. Oh, come on. Quit moving on me. It's going slowly but surely. Okay. Okay. You can see where that set screw was right there. And you can see that I wasn't even through it. I pounded that off without it even loosening up. There you have it, it's apart. Next step is to clean this here up the best we can. And let me get this situated. I'll let you watch me do that, I guess. I'm gonna do it right here in this grinding wheel. You can see me. But before I start and get serious on this, I need to put my gloves on and grab me a set of goggles. Oh, I can't keep goggles in here for anything. Yeah, there they are. Okay, let's get started here. Well, I got it pretty good here. That's what it looks like. Inside needs cleaned up a little bit yet. We'll get her. But let's get this shaft cleaned off best we can. So we got a nice clean shaft to start with. I'll make a trip into the, nope, I'll do that later, but let me get this cleaned up. I was gonna say, I was gonna go get that pulley, but I think I'll wait on that because I need to get that motor put together, see if it's gonna run. If it runs, then we can get the bench cleaned up. What I'm working towards, so you know, is to get a belt length. You know, we can pretty much do what we want there since it's all tightened up with the motor by drawing it back a little. Should have put my gloves back on, but I didn't. Okay, there's that shaft, nice and clean. That was on the wheels. Let me get it over here and I'll show you. This is what clamped the stone on. Let me get those cleaned up. Looks like it had some kind of paper on it to help hold it, which is actually a pretty decent idea. Those that came before us, they were pretty sharp. They knew how to make they sure knew how to make things reach and work. A lot more than we do today. Because all we want to do is throw it away and buy new. I may try to reuse that pulley. It's real easy to go in and buy a new one, but I know how I can make it work. If I want to go to trouble, I can drill a hole clear through it, put a pin in it. It would definitely do the trick. You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drill a hole through that pulley. So with that decision made, I think I can do that. Let me get this cleaned up since I got it here. Wow! Glad I had my gloves on. I can't tell you how many pieces of rusty metal I've cleaned up with this old grinder. Bought it when I was a kid, just young married, probably 19 years old. I can tell you why it lasted so long. After about the first year, the motor burned up on me. And back then, Craftsman had, I think it was a lifetime warranty, and I believe that they just sent it to the local electric motor place, and when he rewound everything, he did it so it would last. Because it's worked good ever since, and I've used the heck out of it. I can't believe how well this thing still runs. It'll bite the dust one of these days, I'm sure. What do you think? Am I beating a dead horse with this here pulley? See, my thoughts is if I drill through here and come down through there, I can just put a little bolt on there. But then how would I put the nut on it? If I did, would it be in the way of that? I'm going to give that some thought, but we got it cleaned up. So we're going to stop here and we're going to go back to the motor and put that together. It's ready to go together. So let me get situated again and we'll bring it back. I'm back here at my work table, the other one, with this motor in front of me, and we're going to put this thing back together. What I've done with this motor is I've cleaned it out. I actually used water to do that with. Not the best idea, but I needed to get it cleaned up. I put shrink wrap on these wires because they were broken. The insulation was broken, but it's actually pretty good shape right now. These two washers fell out. They go inside here. And so that would be, no. Actually, I don't know where they go. I thought they fell out from in there, but well, that doesn't look right. We're going to put them there. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is slide this back in. Can you see me? I'm going to slide it right in there. Wow, there we go. You know what? That's hitting just a little bit. I don't like that. I wonder. It's hitting on this metal. Let me take that back out of there. They're still on there. And let me tap these down just a little bit so they don't hit. And you don't want to break a wire, that's for sure. But I can tap them down just a little. And see, there's a lip here. You don't want to get past that either. So let me get this tapped down just a little bit. Okay, that's a little bit. Let's see how that works now. I've cleaned all of this. I've cleaned this. I've done about all I can do, given that I can't take the entire motor apart. Okay, now let's see. Yep, that's clearing all the way around now. Okay, let's see here. Pretty sure this washer here goes right there, and then this goes right here. We'll get these screws out. We'll grab a screwdriver and we will start reassembling the thing. Well, I hope you work. If you don't, it's not because I didn't try. Get that lined up so they go in nicely. Oh yeah, that's going in. They're all the same size, so where they go in really doesn't matter. That one goes in nice. Let's try this one. See if that's lined up at all. Oh yeah, good. Now this one. Good? Nope. Yep. Okay, I've got them started. Now let's turn it over and do the same. I'm missing one. Oh, there it is. The same right here with these. Once we get everything where we know we'll start and line up, and then just like those wheelbarrows I put together, can tighten everything at once. You know that they'll tighten because they're started. Boy, I hope this thing runs. Sure didn't when I tried it the first time, though, did it? Okay. But we'll see. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll just put it together like it does, and nothing else. It'll be cool to look at. Although I would like it to run. Cool's okay, though. But running's better. Okay. There would have been a way to test all the wires on this thing. If you want it to, make sure everything's the way it's supposed to be. But if I did that, then where's the sense of adventure? I know, you can do without the adventure. I can too. Okay. I don't know if it matters on these. I'm going to put them in there the best I can. Those are the existing. What are they? Existing brushes? Man, hope those go in the way I thought they would. Let me take a look. No, they're not through there yet. I wonder, do those have to go in just right? They sure do. If they don't go in like that, they're not going to go in, are they? Wonder if I need a pick to help push them down into place. That helped a little. Oh, and stuck. Hey. Nope. It's not. Oh, hey! I see it. It dropped right on there. Let's put the plug back in. That would be this, wouldn't it? Boy, that's sturdy. Let me go clean these up quick. It would take just a second. Hang on. Okay. I think this will work. We'll put this. See this little cap right here? That has to go on there just right, I think. Okay, and that spring is supposed to put just the right amount of tension down on the, come on. Oh, let's get it, Marvin. I don't know why I called my YouTube channel the Fix It Shop, or Can It Be Fixed? Marvin R. Schwartz. Half the things I touch aren't worth fixing, and the other half can't be fixed. Oh, let's see. Why isn't that starting very good? I should have ran that in before I... Oh, there it goes. Tight. Okay. Should have called it Marvin Schwartz's Junk Shop, I guess. Okay, you can't see this, but I'm going to explain something to you. There's two flat spots that this has to go down in. Just like that. Let's push it in there. Did I hit it? Let me take a look. Well, I'll be. I did. Put this on. See if this one goes easier. Yep, it did. Marvin Schwartz's Junk Shop. Okay, I got this motor back together. Now, ideally, I would get me a cord and plug this into a good cord. I don't have one out here, but I got something that'll work. We'll call this my test cord. I got an old Craftsman jointer over there that is going to be one of my next fix-it projects. I don't think there's much wrong with it other than a good cleaning and de-rusting, and new cords would help. But this right here is the cord that came off of it. It just broke. It just fell off of it. I think it's okay. I'm not going to reuse it, but it'll make for a good test cord. Let's see if the motor will at least run. If the motor runs, wow, how am I going to do this without electrocuting myself? I need a insulator. I said insulator. I meant to say stripper. Yep. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this off again and see if I can't get back a little bit better wire. Not that that wire wasn't any good, but there was no insulation left on that one. And I was afraid I'd shock myself. Wouldn't that be shocking? Let me get this cut without cutting myself. There we go. Wow, that insulation is junk. That wire must have really got hot at one time. Oh well. We'll try it. We're not going to run it long, that's for sure. 2 hot wires. Let's clean this off. See if we can get us a piece of clean wire here. Nope. Yes. Okay. Wow, that's sturdy. Okay, we're going to go here like that. I know, accident waiting to happen, but I want to test this, and this is how I do it. We'll get that out of the way so we don't arc it across and short ourselves out. Okay, there we go, nothing touching. Get those wires back out of the way. What I need to do is plug this in right here. And the idea is that this motor runs. I have a cord end right here. I'll grab it. Oh man, do I want to do this? I've never been afraid. Let's try it. Look at that. Look at that. That thing runs. Oh boy. It sounded a little weak and rough, but I'll tell you what, it runs. Now if I get a little oil in on those bushings, let me just do that. Let me go get you. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put some WD-40 in there so it can penetrate a little bit. And see if that helps. We'll plug it back in. I can't believe, did you see that? Dumb thing ran. Oh boy. And it didn't blow up. Can you imagine that? It didn't blow up. Let's try it again. Oh man, that helped. Didn't it? That helped. Let's leave it run. Put a little bit of oil in there. Oh yeah, that worked right down. That's gonna run. I'm gonna leave it run here a second. You watch it. I'm gonna go get me some good oil. I don't know what's in here, but it says Zoom spout, so let's put a little in. The idea is to fill it up to the top of the cap. I don't know where that oil's going, but it's doing something. Hear that, how quiet that got? Let's see if this helps. I can't believe this thing's running. And I'm not even shocked. I don't know where that oil's going, so we'll leave it there. Can you believe that? That just doesn't sound too bad. Well, we'll call that motor fixed. What do you think? Well, you heard it. The motor runs. Now, the next step in this whole process is to get that other thing that I was working on. I don't even know what it's called, but this right here, we'll get this all cleaned up. We'll put a pulley on it. A pulley, get it all cleaned up and ready for paint. Paint it, put a pulley on it, and get some stones on it, maybe some new ones. And then the bench down here, I'll show it to you. I want to pressure wash that good, and then we'll mount everything back on. But for this video right here, we're going to call it part one of this old grinder. Will the motor run? It ran. You saw it. Thanks for watching to the end. That was exciting for me, but it doesn't take much to excite me these days. If you have any comments about what I've just done here, getting this motor tore apart, getting it running for a 100-year-old motor, I don't know how old it is, but it's probably back in the 20s or 30s. Anyway, it was repurposed from something. All of this stuff, I believe, was. If you have any comments, leave them below. If you like what I bring to you, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it. I don't get paid for doing this. Too small of a channel, I guess. But anyway, it makes me feel good to know that people actually appreciate some of the stuff that I share and do. So, subscribe, like, comment, and as I have said in the past, and I'll say here, can it be fixed? Sure it can. Can you fix it? You're darn right you can. Until the next one.